Hello Mechwarriors. Today I'd like to do a review of the VGL-1. I did a review recently of the VGL-A, and that's what inspired me to buy this one. And also, my wife is actually playing this game now, and she's come up with some interesting builds, but this isn't one of them. But she bought the VGL-1, and she's had some really good matches with it, so I had to buy it just on the principle of that to see if I could do well too. And we both have our different builds. Hers has machine guns and does have LRMs on it. Mine has ATMs and ER mediums. And she's gone back and forth, and I think she ended up going with small lasers, machine guns, and a pair of LRM-10s with Artemis, I think is what she did. Mine's a little bit different. Mine is ATMs. So we're going to take a look at this in the battlefield, and we're also going to take a look at it in the Mech Lab, but let's start off with going to the battlefield. So here we are at Hellbore Outpost, and I wanted to show you the mech and where it's sitting so you get an idea what the firing rate is like and also how well it works as far as cover. I went with this color pattern because it seems to work really well with kind of camouflaging it and giving it some good overall protection. You know, it doesn't have ECM and we're not running any disrupt, so we got to go with what we can. And there's our target. And here's the energy weapons. And here's the ATMs. So as you can see, it does some fairly decent damage. And it has some pretty good cover overall. It kind of blends in, especially in maps like this. And here's another fire. I'm just holding the ATM button down so you get an idea of the rate of fire. So here we find ourselves back in the Mech Lab, and as promised, I have 2 ATM9s, 2 ER medium lasers. Now this is also capable of 2 more energy weapons, so a total of 4. And then also 4 ballistics, whether they be AP Gauss, machine guns, or whatever. And then the 2 missile points. I went with 2 ATM9s, 2 ER mediums, and this is after trying several different builds, going with 4 smalls, 4 ER mediums, going with SRM-6s, with and without Artemis, LRM-10s. I even did LRM-20s for a little bit. And I originally kept the machine guns on there because they didn't weigh very much, but I felt like they really also didn't contribute that much as well either. I want to be able to strike people with fear with those ATM9s, and the armor that this gives out to being able to do that really stretches out forward. I have a very similar build on one of my Cougars, which is a light mech that does the same amount of weapons and similar amounts of damage. But this seems to do a little bit better. It's a little bit quicker also. And we're going to talk about all that as we go. But here, let's go to the Mech Lab and check out the meat and potatoes. So we have a heat management of 1.65, which is stellar. And that's part of it because we have a 330 motor on here with 3 additional double heat sinks built into it. So I'm not scrimping anywhere here. You can see I've got Ferris and I've got the Endo and then the double heat sinks. And I do have Artemis because I was playing with the Artemis on there, but I'm not using it right now. So we got a heat management of 1.65. We have a firepower of 48, which is actually kind of misleading because each one, that 48 damage is based on the maximum range of these and the optimum range of these. So the firepower is actually better if you're in close quarters, and you can fire all 4 of these weapons in close quarters, not a problem. You can do it twice before you even get close to overheat. So that's not a big deal there. And so what you do get out of this is in close quarters, that's 60 meters to 300 meters. These do 22 damage versus their 18. So that's an additional 4 for each one of those. So that's an additional 8, which means you have a firepower of 56, not 48. So that's something to take into consideration. Now granted, these are going to go all the way out to 1100 meters and a little bit of extra change because of the Skillz I added. But ultimately, these are never going to reach that range there, so it's kind of a misnomer saying that the firepower of this build is 48. It's actually kind of a little bit of both. So if you did the optimum range on these at 400 meters, and then you put this in here at 20 meters, because at over 300 meters they're not going to do much. They're going to do less than the optimum, which is 300 meters. So these are going to do 20 damage. So at 20 damage at 400 meters, that's an additional 4 on top of the 48, which actually puts you at 52. So these are going to do, the optimum firepower of this build is actually 42 or 52, not 48. So that's the way to really look at it, honestly. So in addition, we have a speed of 97. We don't have any jump jets because I took them off, and there are quirks on here for jump jets, but I'm not using them. Ultimately, I think I just didn't benefit from it. Most of the time I forgot they were there, honestly. And it just became a thing where there was more ammo I could put on there, or maybe a better build. And I just eventually worked out of not using the jump jets at all. So if you do have the jump jets, you have a jump jet initial thrust up of 50%, and then jump jet burn time of 25%. So that really kind of works out if you're going to use jump jets and you really dig on that. You can do pop tarting with this, and that might actually work out for you. Maybe do ATM6s and then have the jump jets on there, and that would probably work for you as well. And then it'd also give you more ammo here, but also you're not putting as much weapon down range, so that's something to consider. So, you know, you have to look at it in terms of like it's a 6 reduction, even if it's an ATM6 versus an ATM9, because it's the amount of damage that they do. When we come to the skills tree, you can see I've got kind of an interesting kind of a setup here. Because I have a heat management of 1.65, I wasn't too worried about having heat generation. So I went with full cooldown so I can fire my weapons as often as I possibly can. 2 nodes into range because I was simply bored. I couldn't figure out where else to put them, so I just put them there. Heat generation, I only went with 5 points because this thing runs really cool. I did go with velocity, so my missiles get there a little bit faster. I did laser duration reduction, which is pretty rare for me. I don't usually do that, but I wanted the lasers to fire as quickly as possible so I didn't have to stay on target, which means that translates to more armor. So missile rack for additional ammo, tighter spread, and high explosive, which gives you critical hit damage chances. Skeletal density, armor hardening, and reinforced casing. Let the record show that this hasn't even been skilled. This thing runs smooth enough that I don't actually often need to even worry about my heat because it stays pretty cool. I'm always in override, so I have cool run and heat containment. Think of it in terms of that these two here give you a little bit more headroom at having more heat management. I did want seismic sensor maxed out so that I could get that that notification early on if somebody's coming up on me so I can protect myself. And I'm running a single cool shot and 2 artillery strikes, and those artillery strikes are going to really help you get damage that's going to translate to higher match scores at the end of the match, and also occasionally you get a kill from them, and I've done that a few times. As far as the weapon grouping, it's pretty simple. Button 1 and 2, your mediums, you could actually put them both on one, but sometimes I like to do left and right, even though, as you can see, they're pretty close together. If they were in a center torso, even more so, like they do on the Hunchback, honestly, I wouldn't even worry about it. I'd just probably have the ATMs on buttons 1 and 2, and then these on button 3. But this is the way I chose to run this one. Ultimately, this is a pretty easy build to run. Once you get used to the idea of the way it fires and the fact that the ATMs are really up high, you don't have to soak up a lot of damage with your mech having to go fully exposed to fire your ATM weapons. If they were down low like they are on the Vapor Eagle 1, you're going to have to expose a little bit more of your mech, but this way you don't have to expose as much, and you can get more weapon down range. Somebody gets close enough to you, chances are they can already see your entire mech, And then the ER mediums are really get into play a lot more then. But most of the time, I don't even worry about it. If you like my builds and you like this one, don't forget to like and subscribe, and look forward to the next ones coming up. %.
Oh, I need to change this. Right?
Yeah.
And my machine gun, I have to be really close. I don't like to get close.
Yeah. You can actually shoot me with them, but I don't think they do any damage at this. Shoot him again.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, there goes some damage.
Ammo.
Still doing damage.
Target destroyed.
You just like killing me.
Yes, you like killing me. Rhino.
Artillery strike online.
Got you guys.
Howdy. We got a fire moth that keeps playing in and out of the background.
Take out three flankers.
New target acquired. New target
Yeah, they're definitely
acquired.
doing like I thought. They're going out in the Block 6 area.
I'm falling back in that
Artillery strike.
And we need to control Delta Bog.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
H is cord. Go for it, Adder. You can own his ass. He's also legged. Nice kill.
assault here, D7.
Target acquired. New target
That guy made a
acquired.
mistake. Got a friend at Echo.
New target acquired.
Echo's left leg's almost gone. Echo's leg and cut in half.
New target acquired. Target acquired.
Target spotted.
Target destroyed.
Echo's dead.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Artillery strike online.
Alright, we got him on the run. Let's push him. Let's push him to the Echo line if we can.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
That was left leg is almost gone.
Artillery strike activated. New target acquired.
Bravo's hiding in that crab shell. Yeah, help me put Fox out of my misery.
Target spotted. Need assistance.
Target acquired.
Target spotted. Affirmative.
New target acquired.
Delta's cored up on his left. And he's dead. Guy's got a hat trick.
Need assistance.
I think it's 3 kills.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
Lima's running. He's gonna die tired though. There's another guy off the Echo 7 side.
Acquired.
You hostile.
Destroyed.
Nice. Dos más, por favor. Man, how do you get a 9 ping?
Target
That guy
acquired.
must be sitting on the server on the floor.
Right torso. Right arm destroyed.
Check he's overheating.
Hostiles are eradicated. Bask in the glory of your triumph.
I was almost out of ammo.
I was at 39%.
Damage done 324. Yeah.
Nice job.
You're right. I am doing better than this.
Yeah, you are an ATM pilot. I can tell. You're just aggressive.
I stand back at first.